So welcome everyone to our morning sadhana, which is yoga practices for awakening the body, the mind, and the spirit. So we are going to start off this morning with some breath work, and we'll tie that right into chanting. So this beginning section is an opportunity for you to really center and start to cultivate the right attitude for your practice this morning. If you need to move around at any time, or you feel intuitively like you want to stretch or just satisfy any need that you have while we're in this opening section, that's what this is really designed for. So to the best of your capacity, tune into your own body and do just what you need for yourself. Okay, so let's begin. We'll come into some version of a comfortable seat. If you like to cross the legs, you can cross the legs. And this is a rather simple breath, but it has quite a profound impact on the body and the mind. So we're going to start with a breath that focuses on a long exhalation, so extending the exhalation out. If this breath makes you at all any bit anxious, you just come right back to a comfortable version of the breath. Okay, so let's start. We'll go ahead and we're going to exhale all the breath out of our body. And you're going to place one hand down onto the navel and start to take a deep inhalation. And then exhale to relieve the breath out of the body. So we're just preparing. This next inhale, really focus on being able to expand the belly. Let the breath come up into the heart. You can put second hand on the heart. Good, and then exhale out. So again, the inhale is an expansion of the lower regions of the lungs, and we keep filling up like you're filling a glass with water. All the breath starts to fill up into the chest. So peak of the inhale is up at the shoulders, and then relax the breath out. So let's do this for a few more rounds before we integrate our breathing practice that's intended for this class, just so you can get an idea of all the capacity of your lungs. Your lungs go almost down to your waist. So when you're breathing and expanding the belly out, you're filling up through the lungs, expanding ribs and chest. If you feel naturally to close the eyes, you're most welcome to. This can really help you to focus on the influence of the breath on the inside of the body and the mind. Remember to take your time and that there's no force that's associated with any yoga practice. So if you reach a boundary, you might pause for a moment there. You might see if the breath wants to expand a little past it, but never with force. So the focus on the extended exhalation helps to withdraw our consciousness inside. So it helps us, like a turtle, to come right back into its shell. We're pulling away from the senses. You can free the hands down if they're not serving you any purpose anymore. And we're going to go ahead and we'll draw our next inhalation all the way up to its peak. So expanding belly, ribs, chest. And right when you get to the top, let it hover for a moment. Just relax your muscles, and then as you exhale, make it the slowest breath out as you can. If I was holding a feather under your nose, your breath wouldn't even move the feather. Very slow until it's almost indistinguishable whether you're breathing in or out. Now, as soon as you need to inhale, push the belly out to draw inhalation to the lungs. Come right back up to the peak fullness of your body. And then start the slow exhalation. sometimes this exhalation actually comes very short because the body is absorbing that oxygen into the bloodstream, and this is perfectly natural. And whenever you're ready, the next inhalation's always there for you. We're not pushing the breath out into empty to the point where we're uncomfortable. Just settle into a nice rhythm. If you feel to, you can place your first 2 fingers of either hand at the point between your 2 eyebrows. Maybe shifting the attention from the belly, the ribs, and the chest for the final few rounds to feeling the inhalation passing up through the nose and touching this point between the 2 eyebrows. And the warmth of the exhalation slowly brushing past this point. Maybe soothing any tension there. And again, if you don't need the support of the hand, just let it rest down onto the lap. Keep your concentration saturated in the practice. When you're ready to enjoy your final round, you just let the breath slowly come back to a natural rhythm. And always when the breath is in its own natural rhythm, let it lean towards a slower, a more gentle, a more relaxed breath. So even though we're allowing it to flow, we're leaning our consciousness towards greater relaxation. While chanting, we always keep the energy centered in our heart and focus on offering yourself, offering whatever you have today, even if it's just a body sensation, if it's a thought. Maybe you might be able to offer your whole sense of self into the chant. Let's take a double inhalation and dynamically tense the whole body. It sounds like this. And you're squeezing the muscles, starting at a low, building to medium, right till they vibrate, and throw the breath out. Wake the body up. Vibrate the body with energy, right into the heart, and release. One more time. And release. Alrighty, let's look right at the point between the two eyebrows. Feel the wake of relaxation in the body. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's begin our practice with brightening the eyes open. So welcome everybody. Let's rub the palms together. And we are going to bring a wakeful consciousness into our practice by rubbing all up and down the arms. Start with one arm. Just imagine any little cells in your body that may be laggards. They might be sleeping or wanting to pull you back into a familiar state of consciousness. We'll go right to the other arm, that we are defying their wishes and bringing some order into the body temple so that our magnetism starts to build in one common direction. Let's rub the palms together. Good. Get right into the heart. So stir in the heart. Good. And then reverse the direction. Even though we're drawing energy into the body, make sure that you're rubbing with a degree of kindness. We're not aggressing the body. Go down into the belly, solar plexus region when you're ready. Good. Reverse the direction. So waking up all the internal organs, the digestion, the inner fire of transformation, and then right down to the thighs. So if you need to change the shape of your legs or position of your body, feel free. Same thing, any part of the body that may be feeling sleepy. And don't worry, we'll get to the head. Good. And then we'll just pat. So go ahead and pat down. So you have a soft fist and you're sort of just wrapping on the body. And this is for those stubborn aspects of our being that, and then you could drum on the chest and breathe deeply. Go down the ribs into the belly. So you have to tune into how gentle you need to be or how much force your body is ready to respond to. And then we'll go right to the top of the head. So sit up tall against the drumming of your hands. And I like to look left and right and get on the sides of the head. You can try drumming in unison, so both fists hitting at the same time, and then try alternating. They have very different experiences, base of the skull too. And then eventually take fingers and anchor them onto the skin. So not like you're scratching your head, but you're anchoring them onto the scalp and shifting the skin. And if you have any sensitive points on your head, just be mindful to spend a little more time there, breathing. Good. Place your attention where the activity is of the moment. All right, and the last part is right at the base of the skull. You take your first 3 fingers, so tuck your pinky under your thumb, and you're going to curl your fingers like the shape of a C, and just do a little massaging at the base of the skull, top of the neck. So you'll need a little bit of pressure. You go either direction a few times. Good, and then drop the chin to the chest, double inhalation. Shrug the back of the neck, tense into that curling of the fingers, and then double exhale. and release. And then we do another round. So a little massaging. Good. Double inhale. Tense into that pressure of the fingers. Last time. Keep the eyes open if you feel sleepy. If you feel good energy flowing in your body and you want to internalize that energy, close the eyes. Last time. Good. And release. All right. Let's just release the hands down to the lap. One breath, maybe with eyes closed. Notice the change in energy in the overall body. Excellent. Okay, we are going to make our way to standing. Eyes are open as you go through this process. Feel free to be creative. You can press through a forward folding position. You can stand right up, whatever you'd like. So a whole different field of awareness here. Let's take our feet a little bit wider and let your toes naturally turn out. Good. We're going to bend the knees, place our hands onto our thighs, take a deep inhalation in through the nose, exhale all the breath out of the mouth, pause at the bottom, gently draw the belly in. As soon as you need to breathe, you breathe. Inhale, you stand up, eyes are open. Good. Exhale, come back in. Exhale all the breath out. Pause with no breath in the body and draw the belly in and up. When you're ready to breathe in, push the belly out, then come up into standing. You can even free the arms up overhead and reach behind you a little bit. And we're going right back in. Final round, just freeing up all the energy in the lower spine. Breath is held out, no breath in the body. Draw the belly up and in. Just imagine like there's an elevator rising up the spine to your brain. All that energy is rising upward. Good. And then you take your breath and you come back up to standing. All right, let's go ahead. We'll take hands onto the hips and we're just going to circle one of our feet out. So this is a conscious movement. You are embodied and you are in control of this movement. We're not just swinging our leg around like an empty coat sleeve, but we are consciously moving around in circles. We go to the other side when you're ready. The focus of energy is through the heel, so point through your heel. You keep the foot rather low. This movement's all about the region of the hip and freeing energy into the hips. Good. And then come to neutral. Take a little bend of your knees. We're going to go into the lower spine here. So lift your heart forward. This means that your spine arches. You create a nice curve to the low spine. Good. And we're just going to circle around. So try to keep the arch in the spine. And keep the hips in the same position. If it feels like you're rubbing up against a lot of sensitivity, take a deep breath in and hold the breath in while you circle. This will give you sort of like a little cushion of breath, and then reverse the direction. If you ever feel lethargic, this is a powerful way to stir that energy. Lethargy happens in the lowest regions of the spine, and usually pulls our consciousness down there too. Okay, let's go, and we'll just go side to side. So keep a little bend in the knees. Deep inhalation, deep exhale as we're flushing the body, preparing it for yoga asana or yoga postures. Good. And we're going to take hands up by the heart, double inhalation as you're ready. So you bend the knees, double inhale to pull the arms apart. Double exhale, release from the heart. So you're building from a little bit of tension all the way to a vibration. And then you're relaxing completely. So we're asserting full willpower and then withdrawing with the will as well. One more time. And into the center. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to lift one of our legs. If you can hold onto your thigh, great. If you can hold onto your knee, great. And we're going to circle the foot around. So keep a little bit of tension in your ankle and just go ahead and work out anything that may be stagnant in this part of the body. And then you can flex and release the toes. And we'll come to the other side. So you may be working on your balance as well. A very helpful tip for balancing is to breathe, to relax the muscles, and to focus on one point in the room. Good. And then you can let that side come down. All right, let's take a little bend of the knees. We're going to inhale and open our wingspan up and behind us. So press your heart forwards. Good. And circulate right back the same direction. Bend the knees, drop the shoulders, bend the elbows, and draw the hands up in front of the body. So do this a couple of times. Great way to open the shoulders. Now the descent is very important. Shoulders relax first. Elbows bend, hands follow. Good. That's all. So you're looking for the furthest perimeter of your own ability to extend in this part of the shoulders and the arms. And you're moving right on that perimeter or circumference of the center of the joint. And then we'll draw hands up into the heart. Let's align inwardly. All your focus at the point between the two eyebrows. Consciously relax the shoulders, relax the spine. Relax the base of the skull and the chin. All right, beautiful. We'll come back to, we're going to take a big step back with our right foot. So you have the opportunity to keep the heel lifted if you want. You can also set it down if you need help with balance. We're coming into the warrior one position, which is an inhalation, sending arms up over the head. An exhalation, let the arms settle down into the shoulders and the hips down into their saddle, so to speak. The consciousness of this position is in the affirmation. I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. I attune my will to the source of all power. Good. Integrate the shape. Push down through your feet. Hug into the center of your hips. And let all that energy like a fountain rise up the spine, right to the point between the two palms. When you're ready to rise out, inhalation takes you drawing hands down towards the hips. And you can slide step, you can step right through, and you come back to center. Close the eyes. Take a moment just to tune in. I attune my will to the source of all power. Very important to look up through the spiritual eye. This is where we draw all of the energy of our practice in. Okay, let's come back to, we're going to step back with our left foot this time, and you can choose if you like the heel down, you set the heel down. If you like it up, feel free. It's a nice way to stretch through the knee. When you're ready, you feel like you're stable in your foundation. You inhale and sweep the arms up in front and then up overhead. And once you come to the peak of expansion or upward reaching, let the arms settle into their shoulders. Let the hips settle down. A nice steady breath here. Feeling all of your energy and your attention moving in one common direction, upward through the body, raising the level of energy in your body and the expression of consciousness. We're active in every pose. That means putting out the energy to sustain it, yet we're relaxed, meaning that we are receptive of the energy to sustain it. And when you're ready to leave the position, you do so in your own timing on inhalation, maybe drawing hands and rocking up onto one foot and coming up through standing position. So just again, let's take that moment in between the postures. And joining the attention at the spiritual eye, at least for the final few breaths. Finding full satisfaction in this moment. And eyes slowly coming open. Let's go ahead, we'll take a gentle bend of the knees. You can inhale and sweep the arms up. Exhale, we're going to face the palms down and bow the heart forward. So we're coming all the way down for a forward folding position. Leave the head and neck down. You can hold onto your thighs if you need to. Bend the knees as much as you need to rest in the pose. Forearms on thighs are also acceptable. If you like, you can wave the head yes. You could do a little rotation of the neck if you'd like. Just imagine that your whole throat is hugging in towards the center, and then you'll be safe to rotate your head if you'd like to. And rather than the striving energy of the warrior one position, in the forward fold, we are allowing, we are relaxing, especially in our low spine. The affirmation, nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. Be free in yourself. Nothing on earth can hold me. Now when you're ready to rise, it can be helpful to step your hands onto your thighs and let your hips go nice and low. You're going to start by drawing the chin in towards the throat. Inhale to squeeze the belly and stand up through your spine. Nice wakeful consciousness, arms all the way up above the head. Deep inhalation. Exhale, let everything settle. Keep the eyes open if you feel any sense of imbalance. Good, all your attention coming right up through the spine, through the belly, the heart, the throat, base of the skull, and right to the window of our soul at the spiritual eye. Relax anticipation, expectation, attachment. All right, excellent. So we're going to try a variation of a seated posture but in standing. You can take your arms out nice and wide and let one hand come down, one hand above you. And you're going to bend the elbows and maybe hold on to your t-shirt. Maybe you can touch the fingers. It doesn't really matter so much where you get to. Draw the chin in towards the throat to open the back of the neck and the heart. Just take a moment here If you'd like, you can even lower down by bending the knees. This can create a whole nother dynamic of energy. Just take a few moments here. The affirmation, free in my heart, I live without fear. Free in my heart, I live without fear. All right, let's inhale. You just rotate the arms out and around and right over to the other direction. And if you'd like that experience of just bending the knees and settling down, you're most welcome to. This will really help to keep the lower body plugged into the shape. Now, if you notice that your head is folding forward because your arms are behind you, try to lift the head back towards the throat. Draw the chin in. This will keep your heart open. Settle into the heart. If there's any unresolved energy there, you just let the breath begin to start washing that energy out. And the final breath lets you release out of the position. Let's just take our hands and curl them up onto the shoulders. Start by circling the whole shoulder joint forwards. And then reverse that shape all the way back. So you're holding a little tension in your shoulders. It's not just your elbows circling, but it's the whole shoulder joint. You can even come on the tips of the toes if you'd like. This will get the lower body involved. Good, so really flushing out the shoulders. And the last time, you just slowly release and descend down. Let's take a forward fold. You can inhale, arms up overhead if you'd like to. And then exhale, we're going to fold forward and release all the energy of those shapes. Weight is on the balls of your feet. You can hold onto your elbows and swing side to side if you'd like, if that serves you to release. And you might even rub onto the knees if you'd like to, and especially if you've had knee injury or put a lot of stress on your knees in life. Just that little bit of connected touch, breath, conscious relaxation can bring a great deal of healing, regeneration to the body. So a couple of options for rising this time. You can do the first version we did where you sit like you're going to sit down onto a chair, join the belly inward and stand as you push through the legs, or you can just roll up the spine if your spine doesn't have any sensitivities. Good, and when you rise, turn the palms out, draw the chin towards the throat, rest towards balls of the feet. The affirmation, free in my heart, I live without fear. All right, very gently, let's come back to our practice. So our last standing posture can be enjoyed with the foot on the ground. You just come onto the tips of the toes. Also, if you have a chair close by or a surface to hold on to, that can help to support this leg that's going to be bearing the weight. If you don't need any of that, you go ahead and hold on to the back ankle. The first step here is to align the knees. and you keep a slight bend in your supportive leg and reach the opposite arm up above. Now, if you feel comfortable here, you can start kicking into the hand. You can even lean forwards. And your gaze is always looking either straight towards the incoming reality, or you can look upward towards higher awareness descending into your experience. The affirmation while moving through life, I am anchored in myself. That is self with a capital S. While moving through life, I am anchored in myself. So that's the aspect of you that is always moving towards the highest expression, the best choice for you in that moment. All right, we're going to transition by stepping all the way back. Large step behind us. Keep the heel onto the ground. Front knee is going to stay bent, and just flip the shape behind. Nice deep inhalation. Good. Exhale, transition right back to standing. Just a little opposition to balance the position. Okay, let's take a rest together. If you feel sleepy, keep the eyes open. Consciously watch the breath flowing in and out of the body, offering any tension in your body, offering any thoughts or feelings that no longer serve your peaceful nature and joyful expression. And eyes will open back up. So let's do the other side here. You're just taking your left foot and you can stand onto the tips of the toes if you'd like, with a little bend in your knee. You can always join the hands into the heart and see if you can stay here maybe for a few breaths. Remember, a little bend in this knee goes a long way for supporting the body. If you want to try catching that back ankle into the hand, go ahead and lift it up into the hand. So you start with your knees aligned. This is first stage. Opposite arm goes to the sky. If you feel confident, start bending into your supportive leg and kicking into the back hand. So the whole front side of your body becomes like the curve of a bow. And it's a nice steady breath here. While moving through life, I'm anchored in myself. While moving through life, I am anchored in myself. Feel that sense of your own center, where you respond to what happens in your life, not in reference to how others treat you or the hour of circumstance, but how you wish to respond based on your own ideals. When you're ready to release, just step that back foot, leave a bend in the front knee, and reach up behind you. And then exhale, you just lower down and come back forwards. We're going to make our way all the way down and we'll take our respite there. So go ahead and come down into a comfortable position. You can sit over the ankles if your body allows you to, or just sit cross-legged. You can also, if you feel you need to rest right away, come into child's pose, resting the head down. Let's just take a transition here together. Eyes closed. Now Now, especially those of us working to center our awareness at the point between the two eyebrows, be very mindful that you're not lifting the chin in that process. So keep the chin drawn in towards the throat and focus on lengthening through your whole spine. This will really transform the experience of looking to the point between the two eyebrows for you. And then finally, you look far beyond the body. It's like looking through a window out open a vast ocean, expansive blue sky. All right, my friends, we'll have more time for meditative practices, but for now, let's come onto all fours. So you come out of your position, take a moment just to reach one leg nice and long behind you, point the toes, and then set that side down. Be conscious of your own choice to extend this part of your body, and then conscious of your choice to lower it down. Let's go ahead and drop the belly and lift the chin and the crown of the head for cow position. Pull on the heels of the hands towards your hips. Good, and then exhale, push off tips of the fingers, follow that energy up the arms and around the rainbow shape of the back as you look to your lap. So we'll do this a few times. You move in your own rhythm and you change the practice if you see fit, as long as it's serving to deliver you into a more peaceful, harmonious place. The exhalation comes with the cat position as we press the belly right up in towards the spine, even up towards the head. In the inhale, we let the belly relax fully, expand ribs, chest, shoulders. And we're working out all the old energy, pumping fresh oxygenation into the bloodstream. Exhaling carbon dioxide, which leads to restlessness. And when you're ready to, you're going to go ahead and sit back. So your toes don't have to be tucked underneath. They can be resting on the shoelace side of your feet. But we're going to reach behind us. You can use your fists. If you want to strengthen your hands, use the tips of your fingers. You're going to lift your hips and gaze over your navel. And so some of us maybe get right to about here and we position ourselves. I encourage you to look right forwards, like you have a beam of light through the forehead. Good, and then go ahead and lower down, and then inhale and stand up onto the knees. Let's just rub the palms together, and rub your wrists, front and back. Just rub the wrists real quick. Good, let's take a deep inhalation, interlace fingers, press palms up to the sky. Exhale, bend the elbows, slide the fingers out from their connective points. We're coming back in, so if you like tips of the fingers, you can use them. It's a lot of weight on your hands, so just be mindful. And you're going to inhale, and even if you just start with the intention to lift the heart, but if the hips can follow, beautiful. The affirmation, energetic movement or unmoving peace. The choice is mine alone. The choice is mine. Energetic movement or unmoving peace. The choice is mine. The choice is mine alone. Let's come down out of the position. We're going to walk our hands forwards. You can extend your knees, still bent further behind you. We're coming onto our belly. So go ahead and lower yourself down when you're ready. You can make a little pillow with your arms and just rest for a moment. Make sure you rest every part of the body, the shoulders, the hips, the feet, the face. Okay, if you've been any bit sleepy in this practice today, that will no longer continue for you. So you can take your elbows underneath your shoulders and you may just pause in Sphinx pose. And this is wonderful. You can stay here, a deeply energizing position to be in. If you'd like to come for the other part of our practice, we're going to take our hands, your palms are facing up, and you're going to tuck them underneath your hips. There's a pointy part of your hip, and your hands go right below that point. So it's where the thigh and the hip meet together, and you're going to fold your elbows up and together behind you. And you may, if you push through the pelvic bone, be able to float your feet. So you can also tuck your toes underneath and focus on just floating your knees. This is a nice gentle version. And the affirmation, I recall my scattered forces to recharge my spine. So be intentional about this. All those loose ends of energy, pull them back through your willpower into the spine. I recall my scattered forces to recharge my spine. Again, if you're floating the feet, feel free to keep doing so. And then at some point you lower down and we slide the hands out of the way and put them under the head to make another little pillow. If your lower spine needs some love, just bend the knees and wave the feet side to side. Okay, knees are staying bent. If you're coming with us, you can either press up onto your elbows and just rest here. This is a modified bow position. Or if you'd like to come further, go ahead and release the hands behind you, and you're going to reach for your ankles. So it's really important in this position, push down through the pelvic bone. That's on the front side of your hips. That's what's going to give you the opportunity to lift your knees. And by lifting knees, kicking into hands, you'll be able to lift your chest. So no matter where you get to, I'm sure it's very eye-opening, very awakening for your body. It's the same affirmation. I recall my scattered forces to recharge my spine. If you kick more fully into the hands, you might be able to come higher. I recall my scattered forces to recharge my spine. Hang in there. Really wake that energy up. So that every cell in your body is aligned for one common goal, to express this moment. And then you descend down, coming with legs extending. Our resting position is going to be child's pose. So if you can do child's pose on your knees and extend your arms out, feel free. Some of us may be more comfortable on our back. If you're more comfortable on your back, just go ahead and bring the knees in towards the chest. Good, and notice where there are little holes in your energetic vessel. Are you easily distracted? Do you have one half of yourself pulling in one direction, one half pulling in another? And and plug those holes by consciously drawing yourself back to center with a loving awareness. So that you are contained, you are complete in yourself in this moment. Resting positions are an opportunity for us to witness the effects of postures on our consciousness, on the fundamental relationship that we have with ourselves and our environment. What's happening in your experience in this very moment? We're going to slowly prepare ourselves to exit this position as our long rest is on its way. Let's go ahead and slide the feet out of the way and come down onto our backs. And we're going to leave the feet on the ground and slowly lower ourselves down. We're going to come in a bridge position. So you start by lifting your hips. You're pushing through your feet. If you'd like, you can interlace your fingers underneath the body. And then try taking the shoulder blades and drawing them close together. So you're tucking your shoulders sort of underneath the shape. We're going to stay here and sustain the position for a little bit if you can. The affirmation, my every thought is a bridge to divine grace. Keep hugging the knees together. My every thought is a bridge to divine grace. You lower down when you feel that you need to. Feel free to stay in the position. In any case, we're going to come back to the bridge pose for one more round. So if you need that rest, lower the hips down and wave the knees side to side. Just rinse all of that experience right out of the low spine. You can even take arms nice and broad if you need to, or reach them up above the head. Just get your body to totally reset. And when you feel that you've gathered yourself once more, we'll come back into the bridge pose, lifting hips up off the ground. Be mindful not to look left and right as there's weight on your upper spine. If there's pressure in the face or in the eyes, and it doesn't relieve after a few breaths of calm relaxation, you may like to come down and just rest. See if you can tune in to all of the muscles wrapping around the spine for support. This pose has a wonderful capacity to draw all the energy to the center. And with the gentle assistance of gravity to pour that energy right up the spine, back to the brain. Lower down whenever you feel you need to, or stay a little bit longer, as long as it doesn't take you away from your center. When you do find yourself back on the earth, take the knees up in towards the chest and just do a little rocking side to side. So we're rolling on the kidneys a little bit on the back side of the body. We're pressing out backside of the lungs as well. Be generous in your breath as you breathe. Expand the belly. Let the diaphragm relax down and push all the internal organs out of the way. And then as you exhale, you'll feel it contracting up and flushing all the breath out of the lungs. And it's yogi's choice for how you'd like to finish your class today. The two options that I will suggest personally would be either to practice a twisting position, so a supine twist, or in an inversion. So I'll walk us through the supine twist first, and then we can go through the inversion. So right leg goes long, left knee is up in towards the chest, and you roll over onto your whole right side. Place a hand under the head if you need to. And then you may start to slowly take the top hand and reach back towards your heart, maybe towards your belly, and roll over towards the left in whatever capacity you can. So if you'd like, you stay in this position. If you're hoping more for an inversion, take your knees in towards your chest. Plug your elbows into the ground. Extend your feet overhead and lift your hips and set them right into your hands. If you need to see an example, just take a peek. So knees in towards the chest, elbows push down, lift your hips into your hands and extend your feet. Beautiful, nice deep breathing. For those of us in the inversion, experiment with how far the feet are over the face versus over the hips. There's usually a sweet spot. And in both postures, whichever one you've chosen for your practice today, the calm, expansive breath helps to deliver us into the inner experience of stillness, into awakened silence, for those of us twisting, you can make your way on to the other side, so slowly gathering yourself. Just as a reminder, left leg this time will go all the way out. Right knee will come in. And you're going to roll the whole shape onto the left side of the body, cradling the head if you need to. And then using the top arm as leverage to slowly start opening the body in a twist. For those of us in the inversion, you might like to lower it into Plow Pose. This is a wonderful transition. And you just let your feet come further over your head. Still holding on to the hips. If your feet touch the ground, let them rest there. And in plow position, make sure you can move your nose up and down a little bit. We don't want our chin to be locked in one tiny position here, but we want a little freedom, a little wiggle room so we know we haven't gone too far. For those of us twisting, the affirmation, I open to the flow of divine life within me. Those of us in plow, new life, new consciousness now flood my brain. In either case, we're saying the same thing. Divine energy flowing into the body, awakening, awakening, and awakening. All right, my friends, whenever you feel called to, all paths are going to lead back to a resting posture on our back. Take your knees in towards your chest and just do a little rotation side to side. If you're in plow or the inversion for a long period of time, you may like to place your feet on the ground and let the knees wave side to side. And we're slowly preparing for our final resting pose. And this could be lying on your back with legs extended long, palms facing up. This is a great time for a blanket, if you have a blanket. If you would like to rise to a seated posture for meditation, you're most welcome to integrate your practice this way. And knowing that in this final resting pose, we only have about 3 or 4 minutes that we spend here, but really make those moments count. Bring your whole self to this moment. And just imagine your body and your mind are like tea steeping in hot water. Let them begin to expand, mix, and swirl into the space that surrounds the body. Let's join the attention at the point between the two eyebrows, and for as long as you can, stay wakeful and centered. You might mentally repeat Om at the spiritual eye, or Shanti, which means peace, or Om Shanti. Let's have some time in silence. of the physical body. Feel yourself floating in stillness. The energy and consciousness alive in your body. And that energy and consciousness gradually extending from the center of your spine and your heart out into the limbs, the arms, the legs, into the head. By the extension of your own willpower, moving fingers and muscles of feet, and moving eyes behind closed lids, and waking up enough to reach above the head, pointing toes, reaching arms along the earth above the head. For those of us meditating, you can choose if you'd like to stretch a little or just remain still. Those of us on the floor, keep gradually growing the movements until you can rise to join us, rolling off to one side as a way to come back to us. And the same for you if you need a few moments of just light stretching as you get into your seated position, you're welcome to. And most important, as you arrive, sit up nice and tall in your spine. We'll just prepare for a few moments of meditation together. So you can close down the eyes, palms facing up on the lap, and consciously press your heart out forwards. Ideally, there's a little point of concentration of the shoulder blades coming together behind your heart. Most of our bodies get in a habitual expression of a closed heart, so keep that heart really open. And then let the chin slowly recline towards the throat and lift through the crown of the head, so that all of the mystic doorways of your spine are open. We can see down that long hallway, energy, vitality flowing through the body, flowing upward. And behind lightly closed eyelids, not shut like when you're ready to sleep, but just lightly closed, let's gently gaze at the point between the two eyebrows. Touching super consciousness, a place of perfect wakefulness, deep peace. High energy. Inner freedom. Let's gently join the hands together in prayer position over the altar of the heart. And recognizing that no matter what we are doing in our lives, no matter what our occupation is, our social responsibilities, our likes, dislikes, that these are all affected by this internal relationship that we're cultivating. And that we're choosing in this moment to align ourselves with a higher expression of who we are, whatever that means for you. That will only enrich every other part of your life by taking the time to nourish this aspect of your experience. So let's close our practice by praying for others who, whether they know it or not, are on this exact same journey. And wishing them their best and their highest good on this journey, whatever that means for them in this moment, that will help them grow closer in this way to themselves. If there's someone in particular you'd like to pray for, you can say their name mentally. And we'll rub the palms together. Just offer your body as a channel for this grace to flow through. Not coming from your little limited ego, but great reservoirs of grace flowing through your body. Let's take a deep breath and we'll Om 3 times together. Om. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. May all beings be free, may all beings be happy. May we be of service in this world. When you're ready, you can take a gentle bow of your head towards your hands in prayer. You're bowing to the divine nature within yourself, choosing to align yourself with that nature whenever we can be aware enough to do so. Namaste. Namaste. So take your time. Coming back now is the ideal time to just close the eyes and meditate. Now that you've drawn all this energy and vitality into your body in wakefulness, if you do not have that opportunity this morning, you might just slowly reintegrate into your day in any way that you can. Peaceful music, slow movements. In any case, carry this consciousness with you, freely share it with everyone that you meet by being kind, cheerful, compassionate. Okay, dear friends, have a wonderful day. Namaste.